Loads to go through this evening, folks, from journalists looking like absolute fools, but nothing new there in many respects. And I'm not talking about the big lads. I'm not talking about your Ornsteins and your Romanos, but the amount of backtracking that we've seen today is, well, it's hilarious. Oh, Liverpool aren't going back in. Oh, Liverpool aren't going to bid again. Come on. We knew it was all nonsense. We knew there was no truth to it. But at least anybody that, has rational thinking knew there was no truth to any of that stuff. And then, like clockwork today, they all started to backtrack and talk about, well, not bidding again and walking away are two very different things. Well, we're not doing either. So can you stop lying to the public? And this winds me up. One of my gripes have been for years and years and years, and regular viewers of the channel will know, one thing that winds me up is football fans being treated like idiots and not rational people. And people talk down to us and treat us like clowns too much for my liking. Us football fans are not idiots. We can see through the guff, the waffle and the lies, the spin, the bullshit, the PR, all of it. So please stop talking to us like we're idiots. I had some fun today. Got Connor to post a few things on social media, just to wind up a few people, of course, as well. But look, ultimately, this bid, we believe, and you're getting this nice and early because you're in early, we believe that this bid will be forthcoming soon. Could even be before Monday, and there will be another bid. So, will it be before he meets up with his Newcastle teammates for training again on Monday? Well, that much I cannot speak to. Again, some of this could be reliant on Newcastle finally finding a breakthrough in their search for a striker. But there is another bid in the works. Isak still wants to move to Liverpool, and any Newcastle fan deluding themselves to thinking they may start next season with Sesko and Isak are going to, well, they're going to suffer some heartbreak, unfortunately, because while they may get Sesko, they absolutely will not be keeping Isak, and that will dawn on them eventually. Ready or not, but Isak's coming. He is coming. And that's going to be a lovely little pleasant surprise to some of these Newcastle fans because, honestly, I don't get it. Like, Diaz wanted to leave Liverpool, right? All us Liverpool fans were like, yeah, well, sucks if he leaves. We like Luis Diaz. But, it's a good deal for everybody, so we wish him the best. And we did. Look at the Liverpool fan base. There were people who were upset that he was leaving because they like him. But ultimately, we all acted like adults and went, you know what, Lucho? Fair play to you, fella. Lovely words about Mo when he was leaving as well. And everyone just wished him the best. Darwin Núñez leaves. He'll be wished the best as well. But, we like to show the rest how to get on. Right, so, use an inspirational quote of yours today from yesterday's stream. Bend over. We've diddy amounts of lube here and you're about to get shafted. Love it, bro. Love it. Look, I went into this and I wanted to be respectful of the whole situation with Newcastle fans, but very quickly they went toxic. And then I just thought, you know what, let's have some fun with it and wind some of them up a little bit because, it's clear he wants to move and he will move. So let's talk about Isak. He has landed back in Newcastle. He is due to meet up with the team on Monday for training, but I'm very interested to see if that happens or not. And truth is, I don't know. I don't know if Liverpool will make this move for him again today or tomorrow. Of course, now that I'm supposed to have a day off, it'll probably be tomorrow. But I'm excited because I think once they get an agreement for a striker, we're going to move on. And I think we'll get him quickly. I don't think this is going to drag on and on and on and on because, well, it's not going to suit anybody for that to happen. Newcastle, of course, like I've said, realistically have to get a replacement. Nobody has any argument about that. Sesko, well, he hasn't made up his mind yet, as per David Ornstein very recently said. Leipzig view RB Leipzig view Newcastle's offer for Benjamin Sesko as insufficient. Newcastle proposal was €75 million plus €5 million after Leipzig asked interested clubs for €75 million plus add-ons plus a sell-on. Manchester United pursuit also continues but no bid yet. 22-year-old undecided. Now, there were reports late last night, coming out of his homeland, I had a hiccup there, coming out of his homeland that said that he had made a decision. Now, of course, I don't know either way if he has or hasn't, but right now, Newcastle are pretty close there. It seems to be the sell-on clause. That's the sticking point in what David Ornstein just mentioned there, because they've got to the number that Leipzig wanted. They've thrown in the $5 million in add-on, so it just seems to be obviously the player's decision, which is a big one in this, and then the potential sell-on clause. I'll leave that up to Newcastle to try to figure out. But at least they know what they're up against there now, and they know what they have to do. And also, they've been keeping an eye on Johan Visa. That situation is still developing. He hasn't taken part, I believe, in Brentford's pre-season game, or isn't going to. So is that a sign that maybe Newcastle are close to getting him? Well, it's going to cost them about £40 million, according to Brentford. Are you still 75% on Isak? No, I'm much higher. Honestly, lads, if you want me to give you a percentage now, I'm above 90 anyway. For various reasons. Mostly how hard he's working to make it really clear to Newcastle that he doesn't want to move. Or he just want to stay, sorry. So, yeah, I'm at 90, 95. I think it's a matter of time. And I was watching Sky Sports back pages last night, as I always do. It's one of my guilty pleasures of an evening. And both the journalists that were on there, again, think by the end of the window, Isak will be a Liverpool player. And I don't see how it goes any other way at this point. And I know that there have been situations before where players have been reintroduced into a squad after a falling out. And I know Eddie Howe's a great man manager as well, and I'm sure that he'd be capable of doing it, but there's just no desire for it from Isak's side. Look at Romano and what he keeps saying. It's pretty clear. Isak wants Liverpool. He wants the move. He knows this is his opportunity. And to be fair, why wouldn't he? Imagine lining up, knowing that you've got Salah to your right, maybe Ugo Ekitike or Cody to your left. You've got Vert Soboslai in behind, Gravenberch sitting in the deeper role. You've got Frimpong and Kirkes, or Frimpong or Bradley and Kirkes bombing down the wings to supply you. I mean, you'd be licking your lips. Now, to be fair to Newcastle, one of their fan accounts put up a possible 11 of theirs. Now, the mad part was that they included Isak in it. But apart from that, it's a pretty strong team. Now, they had Scalvini at the back, so maybe this is their dream targets. But looking through their midfield, obviously Guimaraes, Tonali, good players. Anthony Gordon in a wide area. They got Sesko in. They still have the guts of a really good team there. But they need to fill it out a little bit. Surely Newcastle fans remember the last time they were in the Champions League a few years ago. They had some really good results because they were a good side. But ultimately, there was just too much toll on the players, 2 games a week through the season, and they surely remember that. And they don't have the wiggle room at the minute to build that squad out properly, so take the money. Definitely take the money. And the longer you give yourself to spend it, the more chance you have of really giving Eddie Howe the platform to build that team out. Could you imagine Newcastle fans if we went in for Sesko? Look, jokes aside, I think Sesko's a really good player. I'm not sure if he will develop into what he could, because if everything went well for Benjamin Sesko, he could be a world beater. But it is a risky signing for a top club. So I think the likes of Newcastle will be a good